Hey everybody, Tim Campbell here, founder of IWillWillU.com, your life coach. I'm here to coach you through to success in your relationships, in your marriage. Now listen, me and SeMonne came to you this week with the three little pigs, the story of the three little pigs, and each house is symbolic of how we enter into life, how we build our relationships. Now the first pig, we told you this week that the first pig built his house out of straw. That's the cats that are lazy. They're going into the relationship lazy. They're not putting in a lot of effort. They just want to be in a relationship. The second pig built their house out of sticks. Now check that out. Sticks is all about wanting to call yourself married, wanting to be in a relationship, but not willing to go the extra mile to build the structure to make sure that the house doesn't fall. Then we talked about brick and mortar. That's the kind of relationships, that's the kind of life you want to live. If you're going to build a house that can withstand the storm, it has to be made out of brick and mortar. Now I had to follow up in this video because I had to give you the bricks. I had to show you what the material is made out of, the bricks and the mortar. What is it? What are you talking about? So I'm gonna give you I'm gonna give you five bricks to build your relationship strong. Now listen, number one, that first brick, when the pig built his house out of that first brick is called time, okay? This is where you're allocating time. You're creating a sense of us in the relationship. You leave the work at work, and when you come home, you're fully present. That's the first brick we got to build this house of if we're going to lay a solid foundation. How are you reallocating your time? Are you investing your time into your relationship? Okay, now it's important because where your time is where your passion is going to follow. All right, I know how much passion you have behind something in the relationship if I look at how you're allocating your time. If it's important to you, you're going to allocate that time. We only get 24 hours in a day. How are you allocating those 24 hours to your relationship? Now, number two, we got to talk about communication. That's that second brick, communication. All right, that's where you're listening and confiding in each other. You're trying to ask the question, why? Why are we here? You're trying to build that trust and understanding of each other. It's hard to go through a relationship your whole life and not understand where the other person is coming from. You'll get frustrated. You'll start to argue and bicker simply because you haven't communicated enough to understand where they're coming from. If you don't get a lesson keeps coming around time after time after time, and you have to keep going around that same test after test after test until you get the lesson. Now, what the lesson is trying to tell you is to communicate, to understand where your spouse is coming from so that you can be in a better position to serve them. All right, now let me give you that third brick. I'm giving you some heat right now. That third brick is cooperation. If you're going to build a solid house in 2014, you got to talk about cooperation. Now, this is where you learn how to negotiate and keep agreements. This is where you learn how to build trust in the relationship. Right? It's not about my way or the highway. It's about how can we cooperate to make this thing move forward. Right? We may not, my opinion may not be the right opinion, but can we cooperate to make sure we're constantly moving forward? And then I got to give you that fourth brick. That fourth brick is important. It's called the de-stress brick. Right? Because every time you enter into a relationship, every time you go through a challenge, your body's taking physical abuse. Your body may take mental abuse. Your body may take spiritual abuse. How are you recouping? How are you recouping from the abuse? Now, look at this. Athletes need time to heal, and so do you. All right? Athletes need time to heal. You look at a basketball player that played a game, played their heart out in the game. What do? They go hop in the ice bath, right? They go talk to the trainers, because everyone needs time to heal and recoup. A lot of times we get worn down. We lose our energy, and we try to attack situations, and we're not ourselves. Why aren't we ourselves? Well, we are ourselves. We're just a worn down me, right? So we need to fool you, and the only way we can get a fool you is if you learn how to re-energize. So take that brick. Now listen, I heard an adage say, a lifesaver has to save themselves first. If the lifesaver is drowning, he or she cannot save the other person. You got to make sure you're safe in the relationship, and that's what we're talking about with this brick. Re-energizing yourself so that you can then touch your spouse. All right, now I'm going to give you this fifth brick. This fifth brick is all about focus. All right? Get off of autopilot, take control. What you focus on becomes your reality. Let me say that again. What you focus on becomes your reality. Now, this is how you move momentum. These 5 bricks: time, communication, cooperation, de-stress, focus. I just gave you 5 bricks, but I'm sure there's more bricks that you can come up with. Now listen, take the lesson from the 3 little pigs. Start building that brick house. We don't want any houses made out of straw. We don't want any houses made out of sticks. Start making that brick house, okay? That brick house is gonna last forever. And I know you want your relationship to last forever. I'm SeMonne Campbell, this is your thought of the week. I'll holler at you next time. Listen, if you haven't done so already, I don't want you to miss a post. Make sure you go to IWillWillU.com, leave your email, name and email, and we'll make sure that we follow up. I want to coach you to success. We can do that, but I got to make sure I can remain in contact with you. And feel free to go to Facebook, leave us some comments. We love to hear from you. All right, till next time.